I think that one of the things that I don't try to do, but happens when I'm teaching, is that the blinders, you know how the horses wear blinders and you tend to only see a little bit? When I'm teaching, the blinders tend to come back. And for some beautiful, strange reason, I'm able to see a bigger picture. I tend to be able to take in all the people in the room and what's going on. And that is a form of sitting in stillness, because it's sitting in a vastness, a bigger field than just one person or even a group of people. I'm not sure I have the words that are that will explain that, but there is a bigger field, and it is very quiet and vast.
What is the worst rhythm for you?
The first rhythm for me?
What is the worst rhythm?
The worst rhythm. I don't have a worst rhythm. I love them. I love them. They're my greatest teachers. Besides, the few people in my life that are closest in, my son, my mate, and Gabrielle, and a few friends. Besides, on the human, realm, the rhythms are my greatest teacher. And so to think that one of them doesn't have as much to teach me as the other would not be an honoring. As I get older, I've had to change how I dance the rhythms. I used to be able to, go till all hours of the night and dance, really, really, really hard. But now I feel like almost my dance is deeper as opposed to harder or faster. That I drop more quickly, the outside world and the interior world is more accessible. Yeah. And did you find that people didn't come up to dance with you? Yeah, I bet. I bet they're kind of shocked you're in the room. Huh?
Or the other extreme.
Or the other extreme?
People want to go over me.
Yeah, they were all over you. Right. Wow, this is a unique being. I think I'm going to, be close to this.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
How do you teach about that?
Well, I think that you are an education, my friend. That when you're in the room, it's very hard for people to make excuses about their own physicality. Because frankly, if you could do it in the situation, in the body that you were given, then, somebody who has a stubbed toe or is a little tired that day, it doesn't quite cut the mustard, frankly. So, as far as I'm concerned, you are teaching. And that's part of being in the Five Rhythms practice. How you teach people to balance, it's not much different than when there's a young child in the room. One of the things that I notice when there's a kid in the room is that everybody acts as if the kid is less intelligent, either mentally, emotionally, physically, than the adults in the room. And they do these ridiculous things. They grab their hands and go, let's, dance. It's like, what are you doing? You wouldn't do that with somebody who was as tall as you. And so, right?
Yeah, that must be really
Annoying? No, it's less annoying and more, I find it a bit pathetic. I feel bad for them. They don't know how to relate to somebody who's different than they are. And that's the piece that I think, if you were asking me, how would I teach to that? I would teach to, how do you be yourself when you're in front or on the side of somebody who you perceive is different than you. Whether that's gender-based, how do you be with a guy when you're a woman and you think they're beautiful? Or how do you be with someone of the same gender when you might have feelings inside yourself and you go, well, but that's not me. Or how do you deal with somebody shorter or somebody taller or somebody in any way different? In any way different. How do you be yourself and take in the differences? Because that's only the first step. That's just the first layer. The second layer is then how do we see the similarity? Beautiful. Thank you.
And that's why I do the film.
Yes.
Because that is the only area that I find to really relate to people.
Yes. That's the way you really can relate to people?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's too many preconceived notions about you in the real world, isn't there?
Yeah.
Exactly. I know. Well, you're breaking down the barriers, brother. That's for certain. I can't change that in America, but you can.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference. The more comfortable you are in your own skin, the more accessible you will be. And people will have preconceived notions that will never stop. But hopefully with your comfort, the gap between their discomfort and their recognition that there's just another human being here will shorten. The gap will get shorter.
That's wonderful to know. And that's why I picked you as an today.
That's why you pick me? Well, that's good.
Because
Yes.
you see me for who I am.
I do see who you are. Yes. And I don't. You know, I see some of who you are, and there's more to you than I know yet. That's for sure. There's more to everybody than I know.
Anyone knows.
Than anyone.
But
That's exactly right. You know, one of the things that I love is, you know, I've been in a relationship for 27 years, and it always shocks me that sometimes I look at my partner and I go, I don't even know them. Who are they? And part of that is quite shocking to the system, and part of that is mind-blowingly wonderful. I love that feeling. Well, I actually teach all over the world, but I am based in Mill Valley, California. That's where I have my school, and I teach regularly there, and I teach regularly in Maui, and regularly all over the place. So I get a chance to meet different people, different cultures, dance in different studios. The Moving Center School is the school that I co-run that is devoted to spreading the meditation practice of the 5 rhythms. And we have classes and workshops and almost every day of the week in California.